Hello everyone. Good evening to all.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, Parnoti ma'am.
Good evening,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Good evening. Good evening. Good
Yes,
evening.
sir. I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
My screen is visible, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. Welcome you all to FCCIS India webinar on forensic evidence, uh, a silent fee. Hello, hello.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir, you're audible.
I'm audible.
Yes, yes.
I think my voice is echoing.
Here it is clear.
Okay, okay. So let's begin with uh, a short introduction on our institution, that is Forensic Consultancy Crime Investigation Service India. Uh, we have established this in recent 5 years, and we have got many successfully delivered cases like on cyber forensic, fingerprint, and documentation. FCCI is distinguished organization in forensic investigation and forensic education, and also we are looking forward for research and development. The services which we provide are as follow: forensic investigation services, uh, under which the handwriting and signature verification comes, fingerprint examination comes, forgery and document examination, fraud detection, photographic authentication, blood and biological evidence analysis, cyber forensic and mobile forensic, digital evidence recovery and analysis, custom case based investigation comes. We also provide training and certificate courses, which are as follows: certification in document examination, advanced fingerprint development analysis, cyber forensic, ethical hacking, mobile forensic, and cloud evidence handling. Biological examinations are also conducted: photo forensic, imaging, tempering detection, video and audio authentication. Again, these are some courses, as you can see on the slide, and if you are interested, you can join uh, us with this. Uh, Here we go with short introduction with our chair members and speakers. So first we will introduce Mr. Sunil Kumar, the founder and director of FCCIS India, who is a cyber security expert, ethical hacker, digital forensic specialist. Uh, Sir is a passionate cybersecurity enthusiast with several years of experience in ethical hacking, cybersecurity, and cybercrime investigation. As a founder and director of FCCIS India, he leads with a vision to spread forensic knowledge and build capacity in digital investigation space as well as forensic science. The areas of expertise he has in cyber and digital registry and mobile forensic certificate. He has certified in hacking forensic investigation methodologies. Uh, After that, we have Dr. Amir Chetri sir, who is digital forensic scientist and cyber security consultant. He's also founder and CEO at CyberHub, IT Security World, and MedApp, editor in chief, International Cyber Research and Security Journal. 32 plus affiliated journals are published by him. A certified expert and industrial credential. He has uh, uh, qualified like EC Council certification in various cyber trades, certified smart city expert, and other all experience he has. He also conduct training and programs based on cyber security. Next, we have Mr. Prakhar Person, sir, who is again a cybersecurity professional and forensic analyst and author in our team. He delivers training and consultancy for government agency, corporates, and academic institutions. He has expertise in CDR analysis, audio forensic, dark web forensic, cryptocurrency forensic, digital and mobile forensic, cybercrime investigation and response. Next, we have our today's speaker uh, and one of the chairperson of FCCIS India's team, Miss Shivani Gupta, ma'am. She is legal professional for a forensic expert as well as a speaker in forensic science domain. Uh, we'll uh, we'll introduce her shortly. So here we have a uh, short introduction about her. Later on, we will have brief introduction uh, of ma'am. Uh, she is she has degree in LLB, LLM, and diploma in forensic science. As she is forensic expert. Ma'am has qualified legal and forensic professional with solid academic foundation and strong commitment to knowledge sharing. As a speaker in forensic science domain, she actively contributes to awareness and training in law and forensic science, evidence and analysis, handwriting, examination, document forensic. Next, we have Professor Nitin Nishad sir, who is a psychologist and criminologist, forensic psychology and cognitive neuroscience researcher. Um, Currently, he is a psychologist in forensic psychology and cognitive neuroscience research university in UK. Professor Nitin Nishad sir is distinguished academic and practitioner specialized in intersection of psychology, neuroscience, and forensic science, as well as he is specialized in criminology. He holds advanced degree in psychology and cognitive neuroscience and neuropsychology from University of Essex, UK. His foundational education includes BTech and MTech. His expertise areas of expertise is psychology and human behavior, forensic psychology, and legal decision making, cognitive and behavior neurosciences, neuropsychological assessment and research. The last chair member of our team is Miss Manju Mehra, ma'am. She is also a cybercrime investigation officer, cybercrime criminologist, speaker in cyber awareness and digital hygiene. She is dedicated speaker and professional with deep expertise in digital forensic, mobile forensic, and cyber forensic, supported by strong foundation in cyber psychology and cybercrime investigation. She actively engages in cyber hygiene and safe online practices, digital and mobile forensic awareness, women and child online safety education, workshop on emerging cyber trends, training and public engagement in reporting, cybercrime investigation, victim support, cyber hygiene, and safe internet practices, awareness on digital, mobile, and social media forensic. So, mm, let's introduce our today's speaker, uh, uh, Ms. Shivani Gupta, ma'am. She is distinguished academic and practicing for forensic legal expert, presently serving a head of department of law at Reena Mehra College of Law. She is trained forensic lawyer and certified question document expert with a strong interdisciplinary foundation in law, criminology, and forensic science. Ma'am holds a bachelor degree in economics and political science, followed by LLB and LLM in criminology. Plus, ma'am has diploma in forensic science with distinction as a topper of university. She is currently pursuing her PhD in criminal science and forensic science, reflecting her deep commitment to advance research in field of criminal justice. Uh, Ma'am has an impressive academic and research portfolio, having published a present several distinguished research paper at national and international platforms, including uh, conferences in India, Poland, and Sri Lanka. Ma'am has also authored multiple book chapters. Sorry, multiple book chapters on diverse and emerging area of forensic science, contributing significantly to scholarly literatures. In addition to her academic engagement, she is associated with the world-renowned Anil Gupta's Forensic Services and is an active member of FCCIS India team. As a dedicated academician and mentor, ma'am has trained and guided numerous students across India as well as foreign jurisdictions, particularly in areas of forensic science, criminal investigation, and legal application of scientific evidence. Her work stand at the uh, confluence of law and science, making her a valuable contributor to contemporary forensic and legal education. So, here we welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. We are conducting this session for a second time, as yesterday we have got immense uh, response, and some participants were waiting outside the webinar as there was limited uh, entries. So we are conducting this second session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot, Pranoti ma'am, for such a kind words and such an encouraging introduction. And good evening to each one of you, and thanks a lot for joining on time. Most welcome in sharing of knowledge, and I appreciate your efforts, that you have given the time to to develop your information bank. So seeing in the title, if the forensic science evidence is the silent witness, that means you can relate with the topic and you want to enhance your information regarding this topic. So hopefully I'll be meet up with your expectation without wasting any more time of yours. I can understand it's a late hours when we are starting this session, but I will try to justify these certain minutes which you are dedicating today. So, directly coming to the topic of the day, the forensic science evidence, the silent witness of courtroom. So, here I just want to convey the chat box is open. Wherever you want anything to post and you want me to reply on that, yes, I will keep on checking my chat box. You can post. How many of you agreeing that the forensic evidences are the silent witness of courtroom? How much agree you are? Oh, so many thumbs up I can see. Great. So that means this particular session is relevant for any emerging advocates or the practicing advocate or the lawyers who are seeing their career in future judicial system. See, one second, there is some technical glitch. The objective of today's session is what is the forensic science? We will get to know that, the importance of forensic science, the science in judicial system, and the scope of forensic science and legal provision of the forensic evidences. If I am, I will try to meet up these all objective of today's session. I strongly believe that you have the similar sort of expectation from this session. In the age of scientific justice, an advocate without forensic knowledge risks arguing in the dark. How many of you are convinced with this? If now the crimes are more based on technological glitch and more based on digital frauds are more nowadays. Whatever the stream, if you will see into the crime now, technological glitch as well as digital frauds, the crime is based on cyber based crimes. Even if you will take the crime related to medicines, NDPS, MACT Act, PCPT Act, everywhere if you will see some more other kind of PCP and DT Act, my mistake, everywhere you will see the technology involved, science is involved. Technology doesn't mean by the only digital or cyber crime only. When I say technology words, that means some sort of science is involved into that. Nowadays the technological development, the scientific development, and to keep and to make yourself well equipped with those information is latest normal. I cannot say that if I'm learning about forensic science as a law student or as an advocate, so I am doing something extraordinary. We have to be well equipped ourselves. We have to be well informed with the technological developments. The crimes are happening nowadays. We have to be enough qualified to evaluate the reports given by the various agencies of crime investigation. It may be a CBI report, it may be a forensic report, a psychology report given by a psychologist. There are various sort of agencies who are working behind the crime investigations. See, we have to understand one thing: whenever a crime happens, the various agencies will do participate. Crime scene happened, police will come. The same time when the police is coming, now the forensic team will be there. Crime scene collection will happen. Labs will be involved in that. They will make reports. These reports will go to the police officers. FIR will be, formed. The one agency will be there who will hand over the all the evidences to the police officer, then to the court. Now when the case is coming to the court, whatever the process has been happened, now whole and soul, the one person who is responsible to manage whole show is an advocate, right? If as an advocate you are failing to analyze or interpret those reports, then how we can expect that we can meet our justice on time, as well as we can do the accurate justice. As an advocate, your role is to bridge the gap between those forensic analysis and the legal jargons. So my urge is from this particular session is, as an advocate, you have to be whatever the stream you belongs to. आप आर्ट्स, कॉमर्स, साइंस, किसी भी स्ट्रीम से आपने BA, LLB, BA किया होगा या BCom किया होगा. Now when you have opted LLB or you have opted to work as a practicing advocate, then now it is your responsibility to make yourself well informed with the forensic investigations, forensic reports. Now I get so many questions related to this. What if I am not from the BSc, MSc forensic science, or I am not a MSc in forensic? So I am not a forensic expert. So how will this forensic help me in my practice? So here my answer is very simple. There are two types of doctor. One is who is analyzing the report, and the another is who is doing the postmortem or who is doing the surgeries, right? We are not the one who are doing the surgeries. We are not the one who is making the medical report. But we are the one who is finding the accuracy of the report. We are doing the interpretation of the report as per law procedures. Crime happened. Now the investigation team reached on the crime scene. The process has to be followed by the forensic experts. Whether the process has been followed, whether the investigation has been done on time, whether the transportation of the evidences has been done on the time and the procedure has been followed or not. There are definitely certain lacunas, as well as certainly as a prosecution or as a defense lawyer, you may find some or other things where you can help the courts to reach to the right conclusions. See, this is one of the case which is very renowned and very well studied by most of the law students and by the forensic experts. The reason was there were multiple theories being studied in this particular case, where people were assuming various, theories. So what was the major failure in this case, that why we couldn't conclude this case till date? The forensic agencies were not well equipped. police officers was having not proper information, the collection of evidences was not being covered on time, the crime scene was not covered on time, the collection of evidence was not as per the procedure, the proper crime scene is being not analyzed, room के अंदर हुआ crime, room been analyzed, then the terrace area is not being checked. So here, as a lawyer, when this case reached to the court of law, even the advocates failed to do the justice of this case, justice with this case. So this is the one case which you can do the study to understand how the forensic science is important in any sort of cases. Maybe it's a criminal case, maybe a civil or any stream. But the importance on right time and the right collection of right evidences is very, very important. You know, whenever a crime happens, there are certain patterns, and the patterns are following by the certain rules and principles. If anywhere, if that chain of custody is there, and we are failing anywhere in that custody, if we are failing in anywhere in that chain, that means some temperamenting has happened, certain kind of arbitration has happened. We as an advocate should be knowing to understand that how and where those arbitrations or lacunas has happened, so that as a defense lawyer or as a prosecution lawyer, we can help our clients, as well as same time we can support our judiciary. See, this is the one of the case again where a lot of ammunitions, body analysis, DNAs were used to do the proper analysis. This is again a case which was where again a lot of scientific research were involved. This is the one scenario where Mumbai serial bomb blast happened in 1993. Although at that time the science was not that advanced. Science was advanced, but our forensic advancements were not happened at that time. In this case, there were multiple bodies. The mutilated bodies were found. Based on the DNA analysis, it has been established their identity. But again, it was very difficult to identify the dead bodies. But the forensic teams did a fantastic job in these cases. So now here I start with the basic definition of the forensic science, what we understood by this particular term. Forensic science is an umbrella term. It is not a specific stream or specific, category of one type of science. It is an umbrella term. Forensic science words includes all the branches of science, whatever it is, whatever we can understand, we can feel or we can think. There are number of people who assume that if अगर आप criminal lawyer हो तो आपको forensic science पढ़ने की जरूरत है, otherwise आपको जरूरत नहीं है. Let me tell you, I myself is a personally a question document expert. मेरे पास 90% cases civil से ही आते हैं. How? There is a fraud signature on will, the execution of will was not proper, the contract has been amended or obliterated, check cases, checks में डेट चेंज कर दिया, चेक में 9,000 को 19,000 बना दिया, signature has been fraudulently made, the people are writing the disguised signatures are there in the contract, people are denying from their own signature that this signature is not mine. There are a number of cases of suicide letters are there, threat letters are there. Certainly, it is not limited to one particular branch, and it is not limited to one particular segment of judiciary system that only civil के advocate को जरूरत है या only criminal के advocate को जरूरत है. Basically, if I see NDPS की case है, मेडिसिन से रिलेटेड जितने भी केसेस हैं, केमिकल से रिलेटेड जितने भी केसेस हैं, वी रिक्वायर्ड फोरेंसिक एक्सपर्ट्स इन दैट एंड वी नीड फोरेंसिक रिपोर्ट्स इन दैट. So as an advocate, we should be well equipped with these informations to do the proper analysis of the forensic reports. Let's see the various branches. See, here I have given certain branches which I would say a very limited things I'm covering here. But still, I just want to give the short introduction that how the different branches of forensic science gonna help you in your day-to-day practicing area. What I understood by the forensic biology. Forensic biology is study of living organisms. ठीक है, human body से related जितना भी कुछ है, it covers under the umbrella of forensic biology. And whatever, it may be a rape case, it may be a sexual harassment or physical harassment, bodily stimulations, strangulations, drowning deaths, murder, on a killing. However, जिस भी तरह के cases हो, biology will work. Suicide cases are there, water drownings are there, hanging cases are there. In everywhere you will see the biology of the forensic science will involved. Serology is all about the saliva, semens, sperm analysis, urine, blood, sweat analysis. These all comes under the serology. Forensic chemistry, anything related to chemical reactions, chemical actions, or the combinations, all sort of poisons. There are 100 types of, more than 100 types of poisons are found. There are different type of poisons in the air itself. Natural poisons are there. Man-made poisons are there, which we can do the analysis in this particular stream. Pathological forensics, and whatever we do the analysis into the pathological labs. Forensic ballistics is not only about study of gun or ammunitions or specifically arms. It is also involve the physics in it. एक बुलेट शूट हुआ, कितने डिस्टेंस से हुआ, what was the force of it, how it hit the target, what was the damage has happened, what was the direction of that. This all we cover into the ballistics. Along with that, we do cover the various kind of ammunitions in this, various kind of propellant, gunpowder formation, anatomy of the various kind of arms. We do study in this. Again, I would say this is also a very important and eminent part of for the analysis for any sort of advocate. Then coming to the forensic psychology, very random term is psychology, but if you will do the deep analysis of this, all the narco tests, lie detector tests are happening that comes under this umbrella. All the cases related to hallucination, delusions comes under this. Moreover, that if you will see the earlier IPC we call the BNS is also supporting this, where the presumption of innocence is there. Agar aap innocence hai, if you have done something in insanity, the crime will not be considered as that you do not understand the consequences of your actions. That is also part of psychology, where we do the analysis that what sort of insanity it was. Similarly, अगर आप देखेंगे juvenile justice board, there are the analysis are happening the psychological development of a human mind. If you remember, after the Nirbhaya case, the person is if the child is between 16 to 18 years old, government says specifically, peculiarly, you have to do the analysis of his psychological development as well as the ossification test, bodily, which is a kind of a bodily investigation to analyze his biological age. So again, the psychology is very, very important branch of the forensic science. Question document, it includes everything. It may be a print letter, digital letter, physical paper. It may be a handwriting analysis. It may be a stamp paper. It includes all the branches. And luckily, I am the one who is the, having the specialization, and this is my practice area. Forensic entomology. This is something, at time you feel like how we can relate with this particular term of forensic science. Entomology is study about all the mangutes, the germs get developed or they naturally found into the environment. Say, for an example, you got a case of food adulterations where the food get rotten and certain sort of, germs develop into that. Based on the life cycle of that germ, the quality, the species of those germs, you can understand what type of, disease can happen. Similarly, yesterday also I got one of the case where the mutilated bodies are found into the open area. The bodies has been abandoned. Since how many days the bodies has been abandoned, we don't know. When the forensic teams reach to the crime scene, definitely they will see certainly how much is the rigor mortis has happened. The decoloration of the body started when the body leave the life, right? But certainly the decoloration is also get impacted by the various climate impacts, But at the same time, the gut, the stomach of the human body is having certain sort of food inside it. And that food started getting rotted. When the food started getting stale, it started getting developed the germs. There are a number of cases where based on that rotten food inside the stomach, when they start getting developed into the germs, the life cycle of the germ helps to the forensic experts कि body, since when the body is decreased, death कब हुआ था, based on that you can do those analysis, right? Mobile and cloud investigations is very common nowadays, and the very fancy and the latest type of crimes, and most of the crimes are happening by using the digital or the mobile or the cloud based crimes are happening now. Mobile से आप morphing कर रहे हैं, chat GPT use कर रहे हैं, data espionages हो रहे हैं, economical frauds हो रहे हैं, a lot of data theft हो रहा है, that all comes under this umbrella. Forensic odontology. Odontology is about study of your teeth, your denture, your saliva, the shape of your basically teeth dentures. So how does these streams help you? Let me quote one example. There is one case where the thief entered into the house. He did some burglary into the house. When he was leaving the house, what he did is he took an apple from the fridge and bite it. He ate some portion of it and threw rest of the part into the dustbin, and he went out. When the forensic team reached to the house and doing the investigation, they were unable to find out any traces. But when the dustbin was checked, they found that the bitten apple was there. The denture was, the cast of the denture was formed through that bite mark. And based on that cast, the criminal was identified. Similarly, there is, you remember, Nirbhaya case. On the victim's body, there were multiple bite marks were there. Based on those bite marks, the dentures were framed. Based on those dentures, the identification of the criminals happened. At the same time, those bite marks also was a part of DNA investigations. But at the same time, the odontology team has also worked fantastically in that case. Botany is all about the naturally whatever the plant are available in this. If I got an example, whatever the food adulteration related cases are happening, medicine related cases are happening, where this particular branch really works. Cybercrime is basically e-commerce based crime. It's not limited to e-commerce now. What I should say, there is no area where we can escape ourselves from the cybercrime. There are multiple cases of online data theft. Then cyber hacks are happening. Your emails are being hacked. All those type of cyber crimes are coming under this umbrella. Forensic anthropology is a very interesting stream of the forensic science. How? Recently that Shraddha murder case happened. Shraddha was a girl into the Delhi. Her boyfriend chopped her body and, throw the different parts of the body in all over the forest. The forensic team reached there and they collected all the body parts. What an anthropology of the science does, they do the evaluation of the bodily structures, like this particular hair strands belongs to a human body or an animal body. These bones belongs to a female body or a male body or an animal's body. Or they do the various kind of, investigations to establish. अब इसका अगर मैं आपको बहुत बेसिक सा फॉर्मूला बताऊं, how the anthropology works, आपने देखा होगा in evidence act there are certainly the gestures of a humans are very very important. Even if a person is crying while giving the statement, the judges take it on record. Even if a person is very aggressive, his behavior is aggressive, his eyes are in a different manner, or his body language is certainly in a different way. So those all things has been taken into the record. What is that? That is the anthropological studies, the human bodies, the gestures has been captured to support the actual evidences. Right? This is how the anthropology is very, very important. Actually, when you do the study of anthropology, there was an era, years and years back, if you'll say, the court of justice were relying solely on the reports of forensic anthropologists. एक वो होता था ना टर्म, अरे ये तो शक्ल से ही बदमाश दिखता है, the people who are having the very big jaws, they must be, it is been rely in that way कि अगर बहुत big jaws हैं, बहुत heavy eyebrows हैं, very hard hairs हैं, that means those people are genetically into the criminal, they must be involved into the criminal activities. But it is not a thumb rule, it is just a corroborative evidences. But yes, nowadays with the advancement of technology, advancement of the science, anthropology become a very concrete form of science. अभी जितना भी ossification test हो रहा है, that is the branch of anthropology. I hope you understand by the ossification. Again, the Nirbhaya case के बाद जो juveniles थे 16 to 18 years की age के, to understand their biological age, as I said, one is the psychology tests are happening and the second is ossification test is happening, which is basically a bone test. That is a part of anthropology where the scientists or the doctors can analyze the biological and mental age of that individual. Forensic DNA is the gold standard evidences nowadays. That means what is the gold standard evidences? You cannot question the authenticity of a DNA. It is presumed that DNA reports are authentic and beyond the question. Okay? Then burden of proof will shift to the opposite party. Forensic medicine is again related to medicine, and forensic science of tool marks. What is that? MACT एक्ट की अगर आप बात करें, एक्सीडेंट हुआ, वहाँ पे जितने भी स्क्रैच मार्क्स हैं, पेंट मार्क्स हैं, टूल है, बर्गलरी हुआ तो वहाँ पे हैमर के चोट है, या ह्यूमन बॉडी पे कोई हैमर है, हैमर का कोई चोट है, वॉल के ऊपर किसी वॉल को तोड़ा गया, किसी भी तरह के टूल मार्क्स हो सकते हैं, कुछ भी हो सकता है वो, राइट? दैट ऑल कम्स अंडर द दिस ब्रांच ऑफ फोरेंसिक साइंस. Hope I'm very much clear on how the forensic science is impacting the criminal, civil, or any sort of justice system. So now I strongly believe that you understood, if we have to survive in future of criminal justice system or civil justice system, we have to be well equipped with the information that how these all segments are impacting our reports. Gone are the days जब छोटे छोटे झगड़े हुआ करते थे, फैमिली डिस्प्यूट होते थे, या फिर द डिस्प्यूट्स वर रिलेटेड टू प्रॉपर्टी ओनली, प्रॉपर्टी पार्टीशन सूट हुआ करते थे. नाउ द क्राइम इज मोर साइंटिफिक बेस्ड एंड दिस टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट आर नाउ फोर्सिंग अस टू बी फ्यूचर रेडी एंड इट इज द न्यू नॉर्मल नाउ. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर अग्री विद माई दिस स्टेटमेंट? कैन आई गेट द thumbs up or thumbs down? Oh, getting so many responses, that means I am able to convince you on this note. So let's moving to the next slide. This is the basic principle of forensic science. There are many, many principle of forensic science which create an ambit. इस दायरे के अंदर जो जो हुआ, that means the crime has happened. But there is one thing, whenever two objects comes into the contact, they leave the traces behind. ये हमने बचपन से सुना है कि जहाँ पे भी चोरी हुई है, that means कुछ तो पीछे छुटा है. Certainly we cannot see those things with bare eyes. Certainly an investigation officer cannot see with the regular or random tools, but a forensic expert can see with their expert eyes, with their expert information. वेरी रिसेंटली आई गॉट वन, एक स्टैम्प था, रेड कलर का स्टैम्प जो होता है ना, छोटा स्टिकर, पोस्टल स्टैम्प, उसके ऊपर रेड कलर के पेन से ही एक सिग्नेचर था, एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर सिग्नेचर वाज इन क्वेश्चन वेदर दिस सिग्नेचर इज ऑथेंटिक और नॉट. Random people will see कि रेड पेन है, रेड स्टैम्प है, इतना कैमोफ्लॉज है, हाउ विल वी डू द एनालिसिस? I took the camera, I put a red film on that, जितना भी पीछे का रेड था स्टैम्प का, that got camouflaged, and the original signature था that got popped out, and then we captured the images of those signatures and we did the analysis. So this is how the expert eyes, that is the term is that eagle view can help you to understand. But for this, to see as an expert, to see and to analyze as an advocate is two different things, right? So we have to believe as a judiciary, as the assistant of judicial system, officer of judiciary, as well as a forensic expert, we have to understand कि crime हुआ है. Certainly two objects have come into the contact, and certainly some sort of evidences are there. अब वो क्या हो सकते हैं, we have to find it out. There is one case jahan pe in a rape case, while doing the strangulations, the girl's fist was closed. There was no evidence found anywhere, but finally when her fist was opened, उसकी nail के अंदर थोड़ा सा hair strands मिले, and वो जो hair strand थे वो किसी male की chest hair के थे. And that analysis was by the analysis has been decided. अभी eyebrow के hair अलग होंगे, nostril के hairs का analysis अलग होगा, female hair अगर आप देखेंगे उनका thinness है, thickness है, medulla है, keratin है, उसके अंदर जो होता है, that will give you to help you to understand and to analyze that what sort of hair these are. In rape cases, if you will see, at times pubic hairs get camouflaged with hair because of the strangulations. Certainly pubic hairs may get camouflaged with the chest hairs. So as a forensic expert, you can evaluate, but as an advocate you have to evaluate कि अभी अगर forensic expert ने report दिया है, तो what is the chances of confusion or of the mistake or any flaw of the making the report. That view you have to develop now. So that's how my sincere urge to all of you is be future ready. Right now, justice is strengthened when scientific evidences support judicial reasoning. Why it is scientific evidences should support the judicial reasoning? Let me give you the simple comparisons, the difference between the ocular evidences and the science-based evidences. Ocular evidences means the individuals or the person who was present there, the direct evidences over there. See, human evidences are having the emotions, fear, threat, future fears. They may get hostile. They are giving their statement based on their memories, and memories can diminish, human can diminish, and because of fear, because of future fear, because of some enticement, they can bias, they can be hostile. But when I talk about the scientific evidences contrary to it, they are unbiased, they will always remain same, there is lack of emotions, that's what they will be very much scientifically proven, and they are based on analysis. 2 plus 2 is always 4. Your emotion cannot make it 5 or 7, right? So this is how the scientific evidences are now more reason based. So that's what the judiciary is also encouraging the scientific based evidences. There are certainly मतलब अगर आप previous laws में देखोगे तो बहुत सारे jargons है. You have to give the proof of your devices, किस डिवाइस से लिया है, देन डिवाइस से ट्रांसफर हुआ होगा, 65B का एफिडेविट लेकर आइए, आपने वीडियोग्राफी कौन से कैमरे से किया, हाउ यू कैन डू द वीडियोग्राफी, ये वाले एविडेंसेस तो चलेंगे नहीं. अर्लियर देयर वाज अ ट्रेंड कि व्हाट्सएप मैसेजेस आर नॉट अलाउड इनटू द कोर्ट room, summons were not allowed on the mail or on the WhatsApp. Now the judiciary is also believing to expedite the justice system, to ease down the justice system. The revolutionary changes has to be adapted by the judicial system. This is not limited to now the part of judicial activism only. This has been embraced by law itself. That also we will study that how the by the document, in the document, how the law is supporting these kind of technological developments. Legal provision under Indian constitutions. If we talk about भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम, जो पहले हमारा एविडेंस एक्ट था, वहाँ पे क्लियरली मेंशन है दैट एडमिसिबिलिटी ऑफ ऑल सॉर्ट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक एंड डिजिटल and scientific evidences will be appreciated. All sort of expert opinion will be appreciated. Authenticated electronic records will be appreciated. So now we cannot say that gone abhi ye document nahi chalega, ye device ka. Now the videography courts itself are accepting the videography. कीजिए आप क्राइम सीन का वीडियोग्राफी कीजिए. कोर्ट्स इटसेल्फ आर सेइंग, अगर आपको याद होगा सेक्शन 176 ऑफ BNS इज गिविंग द प्रोसीजर ऑफ क्राइम सीन इन्वेस्टिगेशन कवरेज. Here we will here procedure for investigation. It clearly says one is wherever the cases are having more than 5 year or 7 year of punishment provisions, you have to the crime scene has to be investigated by the forensic expert. The report of forensic expert has to be a supporting document along with your charge sheet, right? The another provision has been given by the BNSS is, now if any such crime has happened, the police officer are allowed to do the videography of that crime scene, irrespective to they have some official cameras, some certified cameras or not. They can do the videography by their own mobile itself. That is also allowed as a documented proof to submit into the court of law, provided we have to give the 65B certificate providing that this particular document which I am providing, the digital document which I am providing, is not been morphed or not been edited by any sort of device. This is a direct evidence which I have collected from the crime scene. वो हमको देना पड़ेगा definitely, but the courts are supporting it, right? The one side which I left behind is भारतीय साक्ष्य अधिनियम. एक्सप्लिसिटली पहले जो हमारा एविडेंस एक्ट था वहां पे सेक्शन 45 से लेकर 51 तक इट वाज क्लियरली मेंशन, एंड नाउ इट हैज बीन टर्न इनटू सेक्शन 39 टू आई थिंक 61 63, व्हिच इज एक्सप्लिसिटली टॉक अबाउट हु इज forensic expert, what is the qualification and eligibility of expert, what are the different criteria where expert opinion will be accepted, what is the credibility of an expert opinion, how the courts will deal with the admissibility certification and the authentication of the digital reports, how the chain of custody is important, how we will do the digital records of certain data, how the metadata will work. सब कुछ बाय डिफॉल्ट लॉ में डाल दिया गया है. द लेटेस्ट डेवलपमेंट जो भी हुआ है ना, अगर 2023 के लॉज में अगर आप देखोगे, आप सिंपल चैट जीपीटी पे भी अगर डाल देते हो ना कि 2023 में व्हाट वाज द लेटेस्ट थिंग्स हैज बीन अपडेटेड, तो आपको दिखेगा ओनली फोरेंसिक एडवांसमेंट एंड द डिजिटल एडवांसमेंट. ये दो ही चीजें द मोस्ट प्रोमिनेंट है जिसने पूरे के पूरे लॉ को चेंज कर दिया. अब जब इतने सारे रिटर्न लॉ में चेंजेस हो गए हैं, नाउ इट्स हाई टाइम वी हैव टू अपग्रेड आवरसेल्फ एज अ law professionals. Similarly, one more thing was coming in my mind. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is again talking about the digital evidences. What is the role of the forensic evidences in proving offenses? And अभी Mr. Amit Shah जो हमारे current Home Minister, he has also given a very strong statement, and very recently has inaugurated one forensic institute, National Forensic Institute, where he has said that we are lagging behind drastically into the forensic professionals, as well as the law fraternity is lagging behind drastically for their personal developments. So specifically and categorically, he said that since the 2023 law will be applicable, within 5 years, our target will be to having every police station should have one forensic expert. At least one forensic expert should be there to, without any lag of time, we can capture the crime scene without, destroying before destruction of the evidences happened. The forensic expert should capture the appropriate evidences. At the same time, he says within 5 years, the law fraternity should be well equipped and well versed with the analysis of the reports, how to analyze, how to do the evaluations, and how to do the cross examinations of the forensic experts. One thing I must say, as an expert, if any expert is giving an opinion or a report, he is a kind of one witness, additional witness who is supporting to the judiciary. वो जज को support कर रहे हैं by giving his opinion and by giving the reasoning and logics why he has reached to this particular opinion. But we as an layman advocates, we are behaving and we are believing whatever they are saying. But do we understand that we also have the right to cross-examine those forensic experts? There are certain chances that reports has been biased. There are chances that reasoning given by the experts is not is beyond reasonable truth, or the process is not been followed, or there could be a lacuna in any sort of, say for an example, a shirt has been found with lot of blood, and there is one person lying on the floor within a pool of blood. Now the forensic expert has given the report, the doctor has given the report that शर्ट पे ब्लड था. डू एज एन एडवोकेट डिड आई आस्क दैट एक्सपर्ट कि शर्ट पे जो ब्लड था वो एनिमल ब्लड था या ह्यूमन? यू नो, I as an expert, I personally have appeared in multiple cases as an forensic lawyer, where I do analyze the reports of various forensic experts, and I do find the multiple lacunae in their reports. In question document, in such cases, certainly what happens is people get both the parties get reports from the private forensic experts. Now the judges are into the dilemma. Both the parties having the reports, and both the reports are in the favor of their clients. That means opposite parties are having the contrary reports. Now there are two different forensic experts are there, and both are strongly giving their opinion. So now as an advocate, now it's your role to do the appropriate, coherent and persuasive cross-examination that you can be, safeguard your client, as well as you can help the judiciary to reach to the right conclusion, because judges are seeing and listening from the advocate's side. So if यही आंखें अंधी हैं और देख नहीं पा रही हैं, तो how we can expect, right decisions. So now here the forensic expert become the essential witness assisting judges to strengthen the fair trial. Forensic science ensure the proper investigation, protection of accused from false implication, protection of victims through scientific corroborations. यहाँ पे बहुत सारा रोल एजेंसीज का भी आता है. Certainly, I'll say one case was there, real case है, जिसमें मैंने कल भी ये कोट किया था. एनडीपीएस का केस था. बहुत सारे कार्टन्स ऑफ मेडिसिन, कॉन्ट्राबैंड मेडिसिन थे जो वो जब्त किए गए बाय द पुलिस ऑफिसर्स. एक रैंडम एरिया से, गांव के बीच में, खेत के बीच में, दे वर हैविंग दोज मेडिसिन एंड द फ्यू बॉक्सेस वर ओपन, राइट. सो अभी पुलिस वालों ने क्या किया, दे टू कॉल द एक्यूज इनसाइड द जीप, जो भी पुलिस की जो जीप थी, और उन्होंने वो जो बॉक्सेस थे वो भी गाड़ी में रखे. कुछ बॉक्सेस पुलिस ऑफिसर ने अपने पास, जहाँ वो खुद बैठे हैं वहां रखे, कुछ बॉक्सेस पीछे रखे. अब सारे के सारे बॉक्सेस आ गए पुलिस स्टेशन में. अब उनकी चार्जशीट बनाई गई. चार्जशीट इज बीन शेयर्ड विद द जुडिशरी एंड नाउ द क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ द इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑफिसर इज हैपनिंग. देयर वाज ओनली वन क्वेश्चन इज बीन आस्क्ड, आपने जब मेडिसिन का जो रेंज है कितना हाई था, इतना ही हाई था कि 8 से 10 कार्ड ऑफ मेडिसिन वर एक्सीडिंग beyond the limitation. Now how much are the chances that the boxes which were open कि आप ही ने उसमें medicines डाल दी, or just to implicate these particular innocent people? Why this question was so strong? Because the police officer failed to take the witness signature from where they have collected these evidences. होना क्या चाहिए था, वहीं के वहीं बॉक्सेस बंद होते, उनका काउंटिंग होता. 2 विटनेस हैज टू बी देयर हु कैन साइन द कलेक्शन ऑफ एविडेंसेस. वो रिपोर्ट वहीं पे बंद होती और फिर वो एविडेंसेस पुलिस ऑफिसर के पास आते. दैट मीन्स इसको हम बोलते हैं कस्टडी ऑफ, chain of custody and the transportation of the evidences. Or transportation of the evidences may, even if the investigation agencies has done their best job, but as a smart advocate, how you can escape between two lines. This is how the brain development and अपने आप को training of your brain will happen when you are expert into this type of evaluation of the evidences. Now, what is the court view on forensic evidences? Courts are now strongly increasing their reliances on the scientific proofs, which I have already explained. Forensic evidences are strengthening the circumstantial cases. Courts are caution against the blind acceptance without scrutiny. Now, gone are the days जब कोई भी रिपोर्ट आती थी, कोई भी पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट्स आती थी, कोर्ट्स आर ब्लाइंडली बिलीविंग इन दैट हाँ ये लिखा है तो ये ठीक ही होगा. बट नाउ कोर्ट इटसेल्फ वांट कि देयर कुड बी मल्टीपल फेसेट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर रिपोर्ट ऑल्सो. There are chances of biasness. There are chances of certain, overlooking of the रिपोर्ट्स या किसने रिपोर्ट बनाई, किस टाइम पे बनाई, डे का कौन सा टाइम था, दिन थी, रात थी. Certainly certain postmortems are happening into the night, but as per law postmortem should be happened into the clear daylight. So in such cases, forensic expert are playing their own role, and as an advocate you will play your own role, prominent role, right? Now, why forensic training is essential for the advocate? This whole session of the today is based on this particular one question, that why advocate should be expert into analyzing, to interpreting, and to doing the cross examinations of the forensics experts, as well as to evaluate the reports. Increasing reliance on scientific and digital evidences, which we have already discussed. Courts itself demand evidences based on reasoning, and they want their advocates to should be expert into the evidence laws. They should identify the investigation labs. Investigations में किस level पे क्या लेके ना. See one example I'll tell you. On the this case belongs to a rape case where undergarments were found. The report was saying those undergarments were when they have been reached to the lab, the crime has happened 3 days back. Till they sent that undergarments to the labs, and the garments were multiple folds उसमें किए हुए थे. Now as an advocate you should be well informed that if you do the multiple folding of the garments, the semen, that in any sort of mucus or discharge is there, that it will get breakdown. The sperms which having a standard 72 hours life, that life will be end. Then how, on what basis you will make the report, how you will do the analysis. DNA analysis can be done, but have you done the DNA analysis on that? And the handover of the particular clothes are in proper form or not. So these type of questions are very essential when as an advocate you are doing the cross examination. Similarly in certain cases, POCSO के cases में जहाँ पे girls की age के questions आ जाते हैं, how you will do the analysis, that what is the age of the girl, वहाँ पे आप DNA test करवा रहे हो, age test करवा रहे हो, documents मांग रहे हो. Again you have to be pro in doing those type of cross examinations. And in will के cases में मैं देखती हूँ, contract के cases में मेरे पास आते हैं, thin line differences होते हैं where the signature are done by some third person, or where the person himself is doing the signature and denying कि ये मेरा signature नहीं है. And forensic experts are giving their reports based on their opinion, and then as an advocate we fail to do the proper analysis and interpretation of those reports. बड़े cases. Very recently we break down a case, decoded a case. उसमें their ancestors were Maharajas, some 100 crores of rupees की property थी. Very recently one case I got, even I was not aware of कि ये case इतना बड़ा है. Gradually when I entered more and more deeper into that case, although my role in that case was just to do the analysis of that particular signature. Power of attorney था जिसके ऊपर किसने fraud signature करके power of attorney अपने नाम पे लेके किसी person की पूरी property sell out कर दी. Right now as an expert when I'm giving my report, इतनी बड़ी properties involved है, the person whose property was जिससे belong करती थी originally that property, that person was implicated in multiple criminal cases, and he was running from out of India from last 15 years. He was somewhere in the world. Now when he came back, he get to know his all property has been sold out. So later I get to know that this person is whatever the background is. But again, coming to the point is, as a lawyer you should be enough capable to understand the lapse into the investigation which has been submitted into the charge sheet or by the investigation agencies. Handling of electronic evidences is task of very extraordinary competency required. Why? Because आपने सुना होगा कि आपके लैपटॉप के अंदर अगर कोई किसी ने फ्रॉड किया है या कोई डेटा ऐसा है या CDRs मिलती है, तो you have to give your complete laptop to the court of law. But at the same time certainly court says कि ठीक है आप इसका जो CDR है उसको सील करके दे दीजिए और साथ में certain affidavits they will ask you. Similarly कुछ messages ऐसे हैं या mail हैं जो multiple लोगों को forward हो चुके होते हैं, but then it is difficult to establish the authenticity of those messages. Now very recently I was studying the husband was claiming that my wife is doing the mental cruelty on me. So the advocate was arguing that prove it, that how the mental harassment has been done. So he was trying to give the phone calls recording to the court of law. He asked the permission to the court कि मेरे को phone call के जो recording है वो देने हैं as an evidence. So the prosecution lawyer was arguing कि अगर आप phone call के recordings दे रहे हो, that means you are doing the infringement of personal liberty. Article 21 will be infringed of that particular women. But contrary to this, court is saying if the evidences are so prudent and they can help to establish the justice into any cases, yes, we will appreciate these type of digital evidences also. So court admitted those talks, those conversations which has happened between husband and wife, and the mental harassment is being established. So we as an advocate should be enough to understand how the electronic evidences has to be handled and how the cross examination has to be done in such cases. So lawyers need technical understanding to conduct cross examination, which we have already discussed. Consequences of not having enough information of forensic science, what will happen? The whole justice system will get paralyzed in next few years, because अभी तक काम चल रहा है, because we have certain ages old cases जिसके भरोसे हम चल रहे हैं. But in future the whole criminal system or civil system will rely solely on tech based crime. डिजिटल सिग्नेचर्स आ गए हैं, विल्स डिजिटल हो गई हैं, रजिस्ट्रेशन सारे डिजिटल हो गए हैं, डॉक्यूमेंट्स का काम ही खत्म हो जाएगा. क्राइम्स आर हैपनिंग, जितना भी क्राइम हो रहा है वो डिजिटलाइज हो रहा है. तो आने वाले टाइम में इफ वी आर नॉट फ्यूचर रेडी, वी विल बी द वन हु विल डू द जस्टिस सिस्टम. कोलैप्स कर देंगे हम जस्टिस सिस्टम को, वी आर नॉट अपग्रेडिंग आवरसेल्फ. वी वॉन्ट बी एबल टू एक्सपोज चेन ऑफ कस्टडी. We won't be able to interpret forensic reports appropriately. We will be always depend on expert opinions. And we won't be enough capable to question those expert opinion. See, when I talk about opinion and when I talk about evidences, concrete evidences, there are huge difference. Certainly, there could be something जिसमें मेरा opinion कुछ और हो सकता है और आपका opinion कुछ और हो सकता है. When the things are opinion based, that becomes subjective matters. Maybe I'm expert in something, I'm doing such analysis, but even in my analysis, my opinion and your opinion or some other expert's opinion may differ. But there, in that cases, advocate's role becomes now more stronger and more important. But when it comes to the making a scientific report, जैसे कुछ analysis करना है, that is a different story. But again, as an advocate, you should be enough capable to understand कि कहाँ से क्या निकाला जा सकता है. Weak prosecution or defense strategies. Advocate lacking forensic knowledge will weak their cases. That means every individual, if you want to survive into this particular field, you have to well versed with your evidences analysis, right? How many of you so far are agree whatever we have discussed, that advocates has to be, now it's high time they have to, well informed. Oh my God, I think I strongly convince all of you and you all are agreeing with my opinion. So we all are on the same page, that means. So now my question is from you. अभी आप तो MSc BSc forensic नहीं हो, आप Kamlesh More has raised the hand. Should I take the question right now? Okay, Kamlesh ji, unmute yourself. Yes, Mr. Kamlesh, unmute yourself. I think Kamlesh More is unable to unmute. Technical team, can you see why Kamlesh More is unable to unmute himself?
Oh, okay, ma'am.
So let's continue by the time, Mr. Kamlesh. We will hear from you. I can see your hand is still raised. Definitely, I'll answer your questions. See, if you have any question, you can put it into the chat box. Definitely, I'll try to answer every question. Forensic science is called a silent witness. Why? They does not forget, they do not lie, they cannot be influenced because they are far away from the subjectivity, human emotions, influences, from the biasness, from the fear, from the mortality. They are just evidences, right? So they will always remain same with you. Even अगर मैं आपको एक example दूँ, सुशांत सिंह case, huge controversy was there, multiple theories has been addressed, case file बंद भी हो गया, फिर open हुआ, फिर बंद हो गया, but still उनका जो विसरा है पुणे forensic lab ने is been saved. Why? कि इन फ्यूचर इफ एनी होप, एनी रे ऑफ होप इज देयर कि हमको फाइल दोबारा ओपन करनी पड़ी और वी आर डूइंग द री इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑन दैट केस, सो दूज विसराज जो भी कलेक्ट किए गए हैं उनकी बॉडी से, दे मे हेल्प अस टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैज हैपेंड विद हिम, what was the last minute body what the last minute body was facing and what sort of traumas he has gone through. So this is how we can say every case speaks something or other thing. अभी अगर मुझे याद आ रहा है, certainly there are cases of strangulation, किसी में ऑनर किलिंग के केसेस में क्या होता है, गर्ल्स को गला दबा के मार दिया जाता है and then their body has been hanged with the ceiling that she has committed a suicide. But in that case, you as an advocate should be enough capable to understand strangulation marks किस type के होते हैं. When the body is directly hanged and body is being hanged with something, and after that the strangulation of the neck has happened, this particular the bone which is behind the neck will get broken और डिसलोकेटेड, दोनों में से कोई एक चीज होगी. अगर स्ट्रेंगुलेशन ऑन लाइंग बॉडी पे किया गया है तो हमारा जो ट्रेचा होता है दैट विल बी स्ट्रेंगुलेटेड. इन द सेम टाइम इफ द बॉडी इज लाइंग इन अ स्टैंडिंग पोजीशन एंड हैंगिंग ऑन द फ्लोर, स्लाइवर ड्रिपिंग का एक पैटर्न होता है, राइट? दैट पैटर्न एनालिसिस हमको पता होना चाहिए. बेस्ड ऑन दैट वी कैन डू द एनालिसिस ऑफ सच काइंड ऑफ सुसाइड केसेस और हैंगिंग केसेस में. The tongue which comes out, the rotation of the eyes is having some distinction marks. अगर हम थोड़ा भी हमने एक बेसिक साइंस भी पढ़ा है तो we can do this analysis. Yeah, my question was, what if I am not from the BSc or MSc forensic science? How will I get such kind of information? How many of you are interested to understand or to learn about these things what we have missed in our law college degree time or in our earlier prior to law studies? हमने उसको मिस कर दिया. And now how many of you wants to study about this and you feel like कि अभी पढ़ना तो चाहिए, ये तो जरूरी ही है. ठीक है, अभी देखिए हमारे लिए मे बी कोई सर्टिफिकेशन प्रोग्राम्स या कोई डिग्री शायद बिकॉज ऑफ वी आर नॉट फ्रॉम द एमएससी बीएससी बैकग्राउंड तो वो तो नहीं है. लॉ कॉलेजेस आर प्रोवाइडिंग द फोरेंसिक एज अ सब्जेक्ट इनटू द एलएलएम सैम 2 में है एक सब्जेक्ट एंड विच इज आल्सो हैविंग अ वेरी लिमिटेड सिलेबस. So we as a team of FCCIS has come with the multiple courses. At the beginning of the event, Panoti ma'am ने भी आपको बताया था, there are 100 of courses where you can enhance your information. There are specific categorically we have created multiple programs where you can enroll, and this is the one program which I am introducing very shortly. It will start from the 8th February and it will end up with on the 12th February. Only 5 days का course है जिसमें I will interact with you on a minimum fees and I will clear all the basics of forensics. I won't say that I'll make you pro, but I will make sure that कि आपको report analysis करने आएंगे, interpretation करना आएगा, basic concept, basic principle, basic branches, crime scene reporting, crime scene investigations. I will discuss all those things with you. So if you want to enhance your information on basics of forensic science, you can enroll for this particular program. So this is the syllabus which is also mentioned here. You will get the detailed information of this particular course in the group from where you have got this link also. So now I am opening the platform. This forum is open for all sort of questions which I am going to answer now. Now over to you people. You can throw your questions on the chat box or you can unmute yourself. I am here to answer your questions. Mr. Tala Abu, you want to ask any question? Mr. Tala Abu, are you asking any question? So, meanwhile, if you are putting some questions, I would request all of you that after the end of this session, I will put a feedback form here. I will put a link. Will share a link with you about the feedback of this particular session. I request all of you to fill that feedback form and let me know if I need to improve somewhere or how I can, help all of you in a better way. So please fill that form. So now, how the investigation officer finding money trail from the other accounts. Okay, see, one is that money trail is again, forensic accountancy is again one particular stream where you have to study that. As an investigation officer, what sort of money embezzlement has happened or espionage has happened depend on what sort of methodology they use. To what extent can courts rely on ocular testimony when medical evidences create serious doubts? And in each condition, what would prevail? Yes, very nice question. See, ocular testimony is definitely a strong evidence because hear and say evidence se bhi better that it is not a hear and say evidences. Ocular evidences are direct evidences. So courts will definitely record that and will analyze those evidences. Again, depending on the burden of proof and the cross examination. But when it comes to the creating the doubtness on the scientific evidences, these are the corroborative evidences. You have to prove them beyond the doubt. If there is any doubt is being raised, then obviously you have to establish it by your cross examination. If you want it in your favor or against you, you have to the cross examination is the only tool which gonna help you. Smart cross examination will help you. But if I say about the comparison between the ocular evidences and the medical reports, definitely court will rely more on the medical reports. But if that report is in the question, the credibility of the report is in a question, then court will definitely support the ocular testimonies. See, on this question, I would say there is one case जहाँ पे जो विटनेस थे, जो खड़े थे लोग, उन्होंने देखा कि एक गन शूट हुआ और सामने वाले के सिर में गोली लगी. नाउ एक बंदा था जिसके हाथ में गन भी था. ही वाज ट्राइंग कि मैं तुमको मार दूंगा, मैं तुमको मार दूंगा. वेरी फिल्मी सॉर्ट ऑफ स्टोरी. आई एम टेलिंग यू, मैं तुमको मार दूंगा, मैं तुमको. ही ट्रिगर्ड द गन निकला, बुलेट भी निकला, एंड at the same time it hit on someone's head, right? Now when the ballistic team did the analysis, जो body के अंदर से जो bullet मिला, that was not belongs to that particular gun. जो gun सामने वाला बंदा उसको डरा रहा था, उसको threat कर रहा था कि I will kill you. But later it was realized कि जो propellant उस gun में से निकला था, it hit the another way. उसने किसी वॉल को जाके हिट किया था, एंड दिस पर्टिकुलर जो शॉट हुआ था वो किसी और एंगल से आया था. सो नाउ यू कैन डू द कंपैरिजन हाउ द ऑक्यूलर टेस्टिमोनी एंड द मेडिकल टेस्टिमोनी कैन गो कंट्रेरी. एंड देन अब इस केस में अगर मैं देखूं तो मेडिकल एविडेंसेस या बैलिस्टिक एविडेंसेस आर मोर स्ट्रॉन्गर एंड मोर कन्विंसिंग, राइट? बट एट द सेम टाइम इट विल हैपन वाइस वर्सा आल्सो. It is again depending on, the smartness of your cross examination. What can you say about private investigation using forensic expertise in their investigations? Is it lawful and how can it help the defense lawyer? Yeah, Imtiaz Robert sir, the question is very much appropriate. The section 45 of Evidence Act, previous wala, or section 39, is explicitly talk about who is an expert. The person who is having the specific knowledge about any field and has spent a significant number of years into that field will be considered an expert of that particular field. Small example ले लीजिए, एक शॉपकीपर है या एक दुकान का सेठ है, उसका मर्डर हो गया या उसने एक सुसाइड लेटर लिखा. Who is the best expert to do the handwriting analysis of that particular person? The person who is the accountant, who was well versed with his handwriting, who was day to day seeing that ये writing साहब की ही है, right? So expert is private expert or FSL expert or government live expert depend करता है the number of experience, the credibility of his reports, the number of years he has spent, the number of the kind of education he possessed with. That is only things the court are considering. But definitely, when it comes to the medical reports has to be given by the medical legal experts only. Generic reports will not be appreciated and will not be admissible in court of law. Hope I answered your question, Mr. Imtiaz Robert. Any question, you can open the mic and you can ask me.
हेलो
Yes.
मैम, राहुल दिस साइड।
या राहुल बोलिए।
मैम, मैंने एक सुसाइड का फोटोग्राफी किया था, तो वहां पे स्पेसिफिक फोटोग्राफ्स मैंने लिए थे, लाइक बियर बॉटल्स थी, लिकर था, सोफे पे बैठा था, एंड बॉडी डिकम्पोज हो गई थी। 3-4 दिन हो गए थे, तो नेबर्स को स्मेल आने लग गई। उसके बाद फिर हम लोग पूरी टीम गए थे। तो मी एज अब तो मैं लॉ कर रहा हूँ, पर तभी मैं लॉ नहीं कर रहा था, तो मैंने तब वो सब एविडेंसेस कलेक्ट किए थे। और उन्होंने 64B ना 64B, हाँ 65B मेरे से मांगा था, बट आई वॉज नॉट एलिजिबल टू गिव, या आई एम एलिजिबल टू गिव। मतलब मैं तो फॉरेंसिक कहीं पे भी मेरे टाइप्स नहीं है, तो इन दैट केस मुझे वो सर्टिफिकेट मैं इशू कर सकता हूँ एज एन इंडिविजुअल, अगर मैंने वो एविडेंसेस कलेक्ट किए तो।
See, if you are taking the photographs with the permission of the authorities, then authorities may make you the one of the expert witness into court of law. Your name will go there, and if your devices has been used, you have to give an 65B ka affidavit saying that I have not done any temperamentation or any editing or obliterations, or have not done any chedchad with this particular device, and I am handing over this particular device का जो भी नंबर है to so and so person और विद द कोड डायरेक्टली, और मैंने इसका कोई एडिशनल कॉपीज बना के कहीं पे भी पब्लिकली सर्कुलेट नहीं किया है। दैट रिपोर्ट कैन बी गिवन, बट इन दैट केस यू शुड बी हायर बाय अ सर्टिफाइड एजेंसी।
No, if the police agency, like I have some connections, so they call me directly. So in that scenario, I have,
also because the device is in your custody and that is going to be a part of court of law, then definitely you have to give the 65B का certificate affidavit.
so मतलब फिर मेरे ऊपर कोई allegations नहीं आएंगे ना? If
No,
in case...
you will be treated as an expert कि आपने photos लिए, you are a kind of expert.
Okay. And affidavit is compulsory.
Affidavit is compulsory. Yes.
I cannot give on a Word document, right? The Word document with my rubber stamp.
No. You have to give it on affidavit.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
हेलो मैम।
Yes, जिग्नाशा।
यस मैम, आज एक्चुअली मैं भी खुद स्टडी कर रही हूँ लॉ की।
Okay, which year?
3rd ईयर। और मैम आज ही मेरे साथ एक फ्रॉड हुआ है।
What happened?
एक्चुअली हुआ ऐसे कि वॉशिंग मशीन था IFB का, तो उसका सर्विस सेंटर में कॉल करने की जगह पे मैंने स्टाफ को कॉल किया था, क्योंकि वो प्रीवियस स्टाफ था उसका। तो स्टाफ को मैंने कॉल किया ना, तो उसने आया, सर्विसिंग किया, देखा वगैरह सब, फोटो मंगाए, जैसे ही प्रॉपरली मेंटेन करते हैं ना ऑफिशियली, सारी प्रोसीजर उसने किया। फिर उसने पेमेंट करने बोला, तो मैंने पेमेंट किया 4,250 रुपीज का। एंड मैम वो पर्सन वो छोड़ के चला गया है, वो स्टाफ एक्स स्टाफ है वहाँ का।
So तो
और वो IFB का ही बता रहा है कि मैं अभी भी ये स्टाफ हूँ।
तो आपको ये केस फिर कंज्यूमर फोरम में लेकर जाना पड़ेगा, प्लस आप इसमें पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन, पुलिस रिपोर्ट लिखवा सकते हैं 420 का अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रीवियस लॉ। सो दिस इज, आई डोंट थिंक एनीथिंग रिलेटेड टू फोरेंसिक और द साइबर क्राइम, बिकॉज दिस इज द इंडिविजुअल्स इम्पर्सनेशन है वो, कि वो कुछ और बन के आपके सामने आया है, तो इन सच केसेस दिस इज अ फोर्जरी, तो आपको पुलिस में ही रिपोर्ट करना पड़ेगा।
मैम मैंने जस्ट अभी करके आई हूँ पुलिस स्टेशन पे कंप्लेंट।
कंज्यूमर फोरम में यू कैन अप्लाई फॉर इट।
ओके मैम।
सो
मैम इंटर्नशिप के लिए है मुंबई में?
आई एम फ्रॉम मुंबई ओनली।
Okay. हाँ मैम वो मैंने पढ़ा था, इसके लिए पूछ रही हूँ। इंटर्नशिप मीरा रोड से ही हूँ मैं इनफैक्ट, और
Okay.
आपका ऑफिस भी मीरा रोड में, राइट मैम?
यस, सो वी कैन कनेक्ट ओवर कॉल। आपको ग्रुप में मेरा नंबर मिलेगा, वी कैन रीच एंड कॉन्टेक्ट देयर। हाँ, वी कैन टॉक
Okay.
ओवर कॉल, राइट? सो आई जस्ट रिक्वेस्ट एवरीवन whosoever is there on the chat box, you can give me your feedback in one-liner feedback here, as well as I am going to share the feedback form with all of you. Kindly fill that form. That will be a great support. One second. So I will share that report, the feedback later. Any Mr. Faizan Ahmed has raised the hand. Yeah.
Yes, very good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening.
Ma'am, after going through all your sessions, what I've understood that forensic science plays a very important role to bring the
Yes.
justice in front of people. But I need to understand to what extent can forensic evidence be treated as conclusive in the absence of independent corroboration. Means if there is only a part of forensic evidence, okay, and there's no independent corroboration with that evidence, what does the court does in that scenario?
Okay. See, the forensic evidences which are coming from the FSL or the medical legal reports are the conclusive reports itself. You know, they are not the corroborative evidences. But yes, every individual evidences also need the support of various evidences. So like evidence के ऊपर हम या एक confession भी है तो उसके लिए भी हमको corroborative evidences चाहिए. Courts are not leaving any stone unturned. And the same time, if I talk about the criminal science का जो basic fundamental principle है, beyond reasonable doubt, अगर आपका एक evidence is more than sufficient to establish the whole crime, that will be appreciated by court. Certainly, sometimes 100 witness cannot play that role what a single evidence can do. अगर फोरेंसिक एविडेंसेस आपका जो पर्टिकुलर एविडेंस है वो इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग है एंड इटसेल्फ वेल एस्टैब्लिश्ड है, देन कोर्ट्स विल डेफिनेटली अप्रिशिएट सच एविडेंसेस.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Any other question? So I believe it's a time to say goodbye to all of you. Thanks a lot for giving your time and for continuing remaining here and having me listening me. It's a great time with all of you. You have been such a nice audience. I could see lots of emojis, hearts, clapping, thumbs up. It's kept on motivating me. And I strongly believe that we will stay connected on such more informative sessions, and you will be such a wonderful audience for me. And we will keep on sharing the, one more question is there, Mr. Sudhanshu Kas. Yes, sir, boliye. Open your mic.
हेलो.
हाँ जी सुधांशु जी बोलिए.
सुधांश नाम है मैडम मेरा.
सुधांश, ओके ओके, आई मिस अंडरस्टूड. यही तो है, देखो प्रॉपर इंटरप्रिटेशन कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है.
यू गॉट अ गुड सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर.
थैंक यू सर, बोलिए ना.
मेरा एक सवाल था मैडम. मैं एक्चुअली इंदौर से हूँ, हाईकोर्ट में
प्रैक्टिसिंग लॉयर.
हाँ, मैं इंदौर हाईकोर्ट में प्रैक्टिस करता हूँ. 15 साल हो गए मुझे प्रैक्टिस करते हुए.
ग्रेट.
तो मेरा एक सवाल है, मतलब बार बार दिमाग में आता है, आज तक उसका सॉल्यूशन मुझे मिला नहीं. डॉक्टर हर्ष शर्मा को भी आप जानते होंगे, कुछ परिचय आपका होगा. इंडिया के नंबर 1 फॉरेंसिक साइंटिस्ट हैं. उन्होंने किताब भी लिखी हुई है अपनी, सत्यदर्शी. काफी सारे मैटर्स पे उन्होंने अपना ओपिनियंस दिए और काफी सारे मैटर्स क्रैक करे. कभी आपने नाम सुना हो तो.
So what is your question?
क्वेश्चन मेरा ये था, आरुषि तलवार मर्डर केस के संबंध में.
बोलिए सर.
मैं सिर्फ आपका ओपिनियन, आपका पर्सनल ओपिनियन जानना चाहता हूं कि उसमें 5 सस्पेक्ट थे. पहले 2 सस्पेक्ट थे माता पिता, उसके बाद दूसरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन टीम आई थी और 3 सस्पेक्ट्स उन्होंने जो वहाँ नौकर थे सोसाइटी के।
Okay, one was that a previous clerk, one was that his
हाँ।
friend who was drinking there.
यस यस यस।
Mm-hmm.
तो वो आपके पर्सनल ओपिनियन में इन 5 सस्पेक्ट में से हु वाज द रियल कल्प्रिट?
Sir, it could, if any one of the forensic expert could have successfully established that particular case, would have been not become such a big story, because one is कि जिस टाइम पे पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशन एंड फोरेंसिक टीम वहां पर पहुंची थी ना क्राइम सीन पे, ऑलरेडी मोर देन 300 लोकल सिविलियन पीपल हैव विजिटेड दैट पर्टिकुलर प्लेस. फुटप्रिंट्स, मोर देन 300 फुटप्रिंट्स मिले थे, राइट? द बॉटल्स जिसको समझा गया था कि वो लोग उन्हें ड्रिंक किया होल नाइट, उस बॉटल, एवरी इंडिविजुअल बॉटल इज हैविंग मोर देन 50 थंब इम्प्रेशंस और फिंगरप्रिंट्स ऑन दैट. द बेसबॉल जिससे आरुषि और हेमराज को हिट किया गया था बिहाइंड द हेड, उस पर्टिकुलर बेसबॉल को टोटली क्लीन किया जा चुका था. There were multiple stories. Someone is saying that Nupur Talwar was so smart, she has cleaned the vagina of the Arushi. Others one saying that she has been raped. The other one was saying that the person was having the direct grudges with the Dr. Talwar. So there were multiple theories that we are just listening the stories, you know. We were not there, we were not did any analysis on the reports, and the जितने भी वहां पे क्राइम सीन एविडेंसेस थे, दे वर ऑलरेडी डिस्टॉर्टेड ड्रास्टिकली. तो कोई भी एविडेंस जो था वो रिलायबल रहा ही नहीं था. एंड मोर ओवर दैट, आपने सुना होगा कि आरुषि तलवार की जो डेड बॉडी जिस रूम में थी, उसके 3 दिन बाद हेमराज की बॉडी टेरिस पे मिली. तो उस 3 दिन के अंदर कितने लोगों ने लैच ओपन किया, क्लोज किया, स्टेयर्स पे गए. This story itself a big study to do, and still nobody could reach to the right conclusion, and so am I.
मतलब आप भी कोई डेफिनेट ओपिनियन नहीं बना पाई इस केस के बारे में?
Sir, there were multiple theories. CBI का थ्योरी अलग था, लोकल पुलिस का अलग था, forensic investigations were totally different. Nobody could reach to the right conclusion in this particular case.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot for your valuable time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hope I have answered. The police failed to restrict outside before collecting the. That was the major, administrative failure के local police officers were not well informed कि ऐसे crime अगर हो जाते हैं, तो first of all you have to cover the crime scene. You have to restrict the entry of normal people. That was the major major इस case का failure का reason ही ये था कि investigation agencies were not well informed कि crime scene को cover कैसे किया जाता है. Actually, Arushi Talwar case was the big trigger for the judiciary, for the police officers, for the forensic agencies, कि now how much we are lagging behind into the investigation process, and how much the people should be well trained to do such analysis, to do the collection of evidences, to create the chain of custody.
It is that particular case shook me a lot, because it was really a big blot over the entire judicial system and the police.
Sir, so is Nithari Hatyakand, so is Nithari case, so is Jessica Lal, so is Sushant ka case. There are multiple cases where we miserably failed to do the right collection of evidences. So thanks a lot for the interaction. By the way, you have huge experience. Such questions are also very important into such kind of, sessions, because certainly there are so many law students who can get a good information after such kind of interactive, conversations.
No, thank you. तो धन्यवाद की पात्र तो आप हैं, या आपका बड़प्पन है कि आप मेरी तारीफ कर रही है, वरना काबिले तारीफ तो आप है कि आप इतना डीप नॉलेज रखती है इस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में. और फॉरेंसिक्स डेफिनेटली आने वाले समय में जो मेरा विजन है एज एन एडवोकेट, एज अ पार्ट ऑफ द जुडिशियल एंड लीगल सिस्टम, आने वाले समय में फॉरेंसिक्स जो है वो द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट एंड मोस्ट प्रायोरिटी वाला सब्जेक्ट रहेगा फॉर रीचिंग द ट्रूथ, जो असली सच है.
और सर, एज अ फोरेंसिक लॉयर भी बहुत बड़ा करियर स्कोप है.
डेफिनेटली.
आज की डेट में आप रियल स्टेट लॉयर बन रहे हो, कॉर्पोरेट लॉयर बन रहे हो, सिविल लॉयर बन रहे हो, क्रिमिनल लॉयर बन रहे हो, बी अ फोरेंसिक लॉयर and help other lawyers to do the evaluation and the interpretation of the reports, scientific reports.
ये एक क्वेश्चन और है मेरा, सॉरी आपको इंटरप्ट कर रहा हूँ.
जी,
फॉरेंसिक लॉयर बनने के लिए क्या क्वालिफिकेशन होना चाहिए, क्या तरीका है उसके लिए?
Sir, whatever the degree you possess, along with that you should have well informed. आपके पास information, आपके पास लॉ की डिग्री, आप लॉयर हो, अब आपके पास जिस फील्ड की जो इंटरेस्ट आपने डेवलप कर लिया उसके आप लॉयर बन गए. इसी तरह से आप फोरेंसिक लॉयर बनने के लिए आपको वेरियस फोरेंसिक कोर्सेज कीजिए, सर्टिफिकेशन प्रोग्राम कीजिए, अपने आप को वेल इक्विप्ड विद द इंफॉर्मेशन रखिए. थोड़े थोड़े केसेस में आप स्टार्ट करेंगे. इट इज जस्ट लाइक अ नोविक अमेच्योर एडवोकेट जो बिल्कुल नए होते हैं. दे कीप ऑन ट्राइंग and they, by the time they become pro, definitely a lawyer has to keep on studying. So you as a forensic expert, also expert lawyer, you have to keep on studying.
नहीं वो तो ठीक है, पर इसका कोई ऐसा कॉम्प्रहेंसिव कोर्स होता है क्या, सर्टिफिकेशन कोर्स या डिप्लोमा कोर्स?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी. That's what sir, I have introduced one course today, 750.
सॉरी कौन सा लॉ?
स्पेसिफिकली आज हमने एक कोर्स लॉन्च किया है, अगर आपने देखा होगा.
आपने लॉन्च करा है?
आज ही मैंने अभी इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया है. अभी
सॉरी मैं लेट ज्वाइन हुआ था, सॉरी माफी चाहूंगा.
जिस ग्रुप से आपने ज्वाइन किया ना, उस ग्रुप में ही आपको एक वो लिंक मिलेगा. द फीस इज ओनली 750 रुपीज, वेयर वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग द बेसिक्स ऑफ फोरेंसिक साइंस. उसमें सब कुछ आएगा, रिपोर्ट जनरेशन, इन्वेस्टिगेशन, कलेक्शन ऑफ द एविडेंसेस, क्राइम सीन इन्वेस्टिगेशन, ब्रांचेस है, वेरियस प्रिंसिपल्स हैं, एंड सो मेनी अदर थिंग्स वी हैव इंक्लूड दैट सेशन. उससे बहुत सारे कॉन्सेप्ट हैं जो क्लियर हो जाएंगे.
तो उसमें आप सिर्फ लिटरेचर प्रोवाइड करते हैं या क्लासेस भी रहेंगी उसमें?
क्लासेस रहेंगे, जो भी मैंने क्लासेस ली है उनके जो पीपीटीज होंगे प्लस पीडीएफ्स आई विल प्रोवाइड यू.
मतलब लिटरेचर ही रहेगा, ऑनलाइन या ऑफलाइन क्लासेस नहीं है?
नहीं, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस होंगी ना, जैसे आज का सेशन है वैसे ऑनलाइन क्लासेस भी होंगी.
अच्छा, कितनी क्लासेस वगैरह हैं उसकी?
सर वो पूरा डिटेल ना आपको ब्रोशर में मिलेगा, फिर भी वहाँ पे टीम के नंबर भी हैं, यू कैन कॉन्टेक्ट देयर. ओनली 5 days क्लासेस, 1.5 घंटा एवरी डे का क्लास है, 8th of February से 12th of February तक.
अच्छा, अगले महीने ही है?
हाँ जी.
अरे बढ़िया है तो यार, अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी है.
आप देखिएगा ग्रुप में, अभी मैसेज भी विल पोस्ट.
बिल्कुल, अगर मेरा शेड्यूल अलाउ करेगा तो डेफिनेटली मैं बहुत इंटरेस्टेड हूँ इसमें, फॉरेंसिक साइंस में. और मैं
रात का ही टाइम रखे 8 to 9 का, सो दैट ऑल द प्रोफेशनल्स कैन फेच अ गुड टाइम, कैन स्पेयर द टाइम.
8 से 9 का टाइम है
जी.
अच्छा, चलिए ठीक है, मैनेजेबल होगा तो डेफिनेटली ज्वाइन करूंगा. इसके रिकॉर्डेड सेशंस मिल पाएंगे क्या मुझे आफ्टर पेइंग द प्रिस्क्राइब्ड फीस?
नो सर, नो. यस, ओके, यस.
रिकॉर्डिंग प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा.
हाँ, नहीं तो रिकॉर्डेड हो जाएगा तो फिर बहुत बढ़िया है. तो मेरे तो शेड्यूल का इशू नहीं है, फिर मैं जब चाहे तब देख सकता हूँ.
सेशन रिकॉर्डिंग प्रोवाइड किया जाएगा.
क्या? सॉरी सर, क्या बोला आपने? सुना ही नहीं दिया.
ऑल सेशन you will get the recording of all the sessions by the end.
5 दिन का जो 5 सेशन है उनकी सबकी रिकॉर्डिंग मिल जाएगी?
यस, राइट.
अच्छा, चलिए. आपका शुभ नाम सर?
सुनील कुमार सिन्हा.
सॉरी?
सुनील कुमार सिन्हा.
अच्छा, सिन्हा
सर, सुनील सिन्हा.
हाँ, सिन्हा साहब.
यस,
ठीक है सिन्हा साहब, वो मैं लिंक देख लेता हूँ और मैं इंटरेस्टेड हूँ और पूरी संभावना रही तो मैं ज्वाइन करूंगा उसको. फिर आपसे दोबारा मुलाकात होती है वहाँ पे.
On the contact number is given there in the group.
Okay.
Okay, sir. So thanks a lot. So any
Pleasure.
question or any other query, or should we sign off here? Hoping to see you again, and kindly fill the feedback form which I'm going to share in the group. So, sir, I'm signing off. Sunil, sir, thanks a lot.
yes ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Good night everyone. Good night ma'am.
Good night, sir. Good night.